So you probably want to add some CSS to your theme. So let's add some simple rules here. Add a little light gray background color. I'm going to lighten the text color a little bit. Let's change the font family. Oops. There we go. Okay, and now we have to enqueue the style sheet. So we're going to use WP enqueue style. You may remember this from last week. The first parameter is the handle, and this is a way of identifying the style sheet in code within WordPress. Then the next parameter is the source, which is a string. And this can be a string, like an absolute link to a CSS file. Then there's dependencies, and that can be loaded in an array, which is optional. A version number. The version number is helpful to add because what it adds is the version number as a query string. And so if you update it, it will update the version number query string. And that's helpful because it'll force the style sheet to update and prevent it from being cached. Okay, and then the last string is media. So for example, if you wanted to make a print style sheet, you would change the media here. And let's go down, look for implementation further down in the codex. Okay, let's use this here. We'll add this to the functions file. Okay. And then I'm going to change the name of the function. So this is the name of the hook right here. This is telling it where to insert it in the code. So this you can't change. This part is the function that you want to insert into the hook in WordPress. Rather than a string, what we're going to use is this WordPress template tag, which is going to point directly to the style sheet for us. And this is going to be good so that you could, the nice thing about this is that you could upload the theme onto a different website, and you could change a number of factors in the environment and it's still going to work. Now it is possible to just type in the link to the style sheet in the HTML in the head of the document. That's totally possible and will totally work. But it is not a good practice because the problem with doing it this way is that WordPress doesn't have access to it. WordPress can't. So let's say, for example, you loaded a plugin that minified all your CSS. WordPress can't do that if it's loaded here. So it's a good idea always to enqueue any style sheet or script. There are also instances where plugins, for example, will load dependencies. Like for example, they might load jQuery, and if you have multiple plugins, they could load jQuery multiple times, which is not a good thing. So this is another reason to enqueue, scripts and style sheets. let's see if our script loaded. Okay, and we can see that it has. I can see that the font family has changed, and there's a light gray background color.